So let me start this video off by saying it pains me to even have to talk about this because of um, the way I feel about the people who are affected in the California fires. And that is my home city, home state, Los Angeles, California. So it's a very harsh, hard thing to see what's happening, even though the areas in which I grew up, basically the Los Angeles area, those parts aren't really affected, but just some of the surrounding areas and some of the more affluential areas like Pacific Palisades, not too far away, Altadena, not too far away, just right outside of downtown Los Angeles, Pasadena, and of course Hollywood nearby. Other areas, Westwood, Brentwood, things close to Santa Monica, a lot of, whole lot of places that I visited frequently. So I just wanted to say that first before I come and start talking about what traders can expect from the five biggest, and I might have thrown one more in there, five biggest home builders in the U.S. So, starting off with the top dog, D.H. Horton, not too familiar. Not too sure how many people are familiar with this company, but me also another thing, with me being a real estate enthusiast, I'm somewhat familiar with D.H. Horton. And They were already trending. This company was already doing well. And basically, what's happening is with so much work that has to be done to rebuild California, it's going to be a lot of these top dogs that get the contracts that people reaching out to build new communities. So, with so much open land now, there's going to be they were you didn't really have like let's say subdivisions where you had a whole subdivision and the houses were the same. Almost all the houses were pretty much custom, but this gives an opportunity for a company like DH Horton and some of the other home builders that also do luxury, because that's what kind of area that is. It's multi-million dollar homes that were destroyed there, but um, just with the type of real estate that was in there in that area, you're going to have certain types of builders to come put that stuff back. So a whole lot of stuff I could say. I just don't want to be talking too long. But DH Horton, of course, they were already trending. Let's just look at that real quick. Just start from this low here. 2020 COVID, right? March 20, this is actually the date of COVID, March 16, 2020 COVID. From that day when the economy is going bad, they're building like crazy. They got to run up from $26 all the way to 109 just coming through 2021. So in a year, their stock more than quadrupled, and then they get a slight correction back down to $60. They come up to $133. They come down to 98. They come up to 165. They come down to 132, and then they go peak out at 199 and then come back down, right? So come back down. So the thing about DH Horton, there's a couple of things. It came right back down to this area of support here. Okay, and this is where you see comes down here, and this is where you see the buying opportunity. Um, I'll just mark that off. So yeah, that basically a very very clean double bottom right there. Very, very clean double bottom right there. And then the opportunity for the traders to get long. Let me just remind you on the disclaimer, I do not provide trade advice, trade signals, or advise people what to do with their capital in the markets. I simply talk about what is on the charts technically and provide a little bit of explanation and education to go with it. Now, with that being said, with this look here, it's obvious that there should be a retest of the highs here, right around $200 or $199.60. Okay, it's the next stop, the way that I view things technically, and then your projected targets after that would basically be an extension of the whole move right here. If this were A and this were B and this were C, this were D, this is nothing more than the outside return or pullback, a retest of that D, and then extended targets, right? This is all. This is a trending market, so you want to look at your retracements and your extensions. So your extension off this move here, and if when we're just gonna max it out for this, the extended projected target for this for DH Horton somewhere up in this area here. Okay, for the extended target, somewhere in this zone right here. It's where we can expect $250 a share. I actually, me looking at it with this projection that I'm actually making live, I kind of fully expect that to happen. $250 a share for this company with the amount of work that they're about to get. The houses, they basically, this is going to be one of the companies that's rebuilding, things like Pasadena, Altadena, Pacific Palisades, but then coming in and putting subdivisions in there. Now, that could, like I said, that could vary. That could depend because they didn't have a whole lot of subdivisions. These were just open blocks with houses on them in the cities. And then you had like single individual custom built homes for the big, larger, major, wealthy and super wealthy that's in the area. But DH Horton, as you can see, that structure and support going to sit on there. Was oversold at the time. You see bullish volume coming in. I'm actually out on the weekly chart. I'm not too close in. We're not looking at any scalping. This isn't something where somebody's going to make the money overnight. This will be an opportunity where a trader could go from $146 to $246. That price of that stock should absolutely stay in line with its trend and increase by at least $100, if not more. And it looks like it's already starting. Okay, so DH Horton, basically standard trend continuation, dropping into a double bottom, a retest at the targets at 200, and then blows through that sometime after that when it gets there. I don't see why something like that wouldn't happen just technically, projectedly, and based off of a trend. Now, I could see if there was a break and close beyond the double bottom, if price broke and closed beyond that, then that would be different. But even if that did happen, remember, in true harmonic trading club fashion, all that would give you is an opportunity to trade the harmonic cipher pattern up if that were to happen. Or 786, where we at? Right around this area. So yeah, all that would do is give the trader an opportunity to come in and trade this up anyway. Either way it goes. So he's either good there. It's going to be in that area somewhere. It's either gonna this support is either gonna hold when price if price action were to turn around and drop down to about $120. That baby's gonna be off to the races with that bullish advanced cipher pattern. Okay, on to the next guy. This is a big guy, Lennar Corporation, Lennar Homes. Hopefully you've seen this before. It's kind of like the same thing. I'll give you guys a hint if you don't notice it already. A lot of these things are already going to look the same way. They were already trending. They were already doing their thing. And then all they did is fell back down. Okay, so this one doesn't fall into a double bottom. Okay, Lennar doesn't fall into a double bottom, but it does fall into the golden ratio. So from this low here, right, from this low here to this high here, he drops right into that very prominent zone, right around the 618. Doesn't even draw down too far as the 786. So drops right into the 618, and I'll make him green because it's support. And you see the reaction on it. You see the reaction. You see that he was oversold at the time. You see the bullish volume coming in. And I don't think that they're going to allow a company like Lennar Corporation to fall anymore. $140, not too bad at the time. Looking for that to go and retest where he was up at $193. That's a major move. And then looking for extended targets off the low here. Looking for extended targets off the low. And that would be very, very amazing. Who wouldn't want to be a part of that if that is what were to happen? Who wouldn't want to be a part of 230 coming from 140? So more than $100 a share. And there's there's someone out there that you can kind of thank for this, but I ain't gonna say any names. There's one more thing in here Didn't quite check it that well, but also kind of like I said, a lot of these gonna have the same look basically. Yeah, same kind of look on here. If that does not keep, if that does not hold the structure off the golden ratio, all it's gonna take is a simple fall back a little bit lower to $120, and then you're using the cipher to get up there. And when you get that cipher, if that happens, that's what it does. It's gonna happen in true harmonic trading club fashion. All right, that's Lennar Corporation. Coming up at number three, Pulte. How many of you guys have heard of Pulte Homes or Pulte Group? So Pulte has got a couple of different things going for it. I think this one might have a harmonic pattern as well. If I start with this low here and I come to this high here, come down here, yep, come up here, come down here, and then here we are right on the money, right on the money. So a little bit late to the party actually for this one. A little bit late to the party for a pattern trader. I mean, I'm sure that when you're looking at the way that these patterns kind of set you up and get you good to go. I mean, just imagine not understanding patterns and missing that entry. I mean, that's the result of course I'm biased, but that's the result of not understanding advanced pattern recognition is because, and in my experience, you miss out on trades like that, an entry right around 107 that's already at 116. So any day trader knows how devastating $11 can be on a trade so far, especially for a trader that could have came in, entered at, right at 107 and spent $1,000, bought 100 shares or something like that. It's going to write that up. Killer trade. Was oversold at the time. Moving up on the RSI, a little bit of bullish volume, excellent opportunity, and I don't expect them to stop. This is Pulte. They are very big, especially in the residential development spaces like that, subdivisions, all that kind of stuff. Pulte's a big dog. That's why they're number three largest home builder in the U.S. Unfortunately for us traders, I'm bringing this news out too late, and we would have missed a perfect entry at 107. We would have been riding. We would have been happy. Got to find another way in there. For me, I got to find another way in there. I'm not too keen on just hitting go tomorrow and just jumping in, but maybe we might get a correction. Maybe might pull back a little bit, kind of like close enough to the entry, and then let us get in. Hopefully they come back and pick us up. Don't leave us like that, Pulte. Come on. I'm sorry that I missed you. All right. Coming up at number four, Toll Brothers, big dog. This one again, very simple. Fast moving, strong company, very light pullbacks. As you can see, these things pretty much going almost completely vertical, but so like the corrections are so small, they're just these little subtle pullbacks, and then of course you get that one there. That one is a little bit more significant than the other retracements or outside returns. But that's just going to have to be okay for now, because this one too, once it got its higher high, higher close up here. Okay, so you got your starting point, and then you got your initial high, outside return, new structure high, retest new structure high, can't break it, come back down, break it, close new structure high right here. Okay, let me say that again. Starting point, initial high, outside return, new structure high, retest new structure high, fall back, and then break it, new structure high, outside return, new structure high, outside return. Keeps going, new highs. The only problem is this time he didn't get it, but I wouldn't say that that's a sign of this reversing. I would say all it did was drop in right where you want this thing to drop into, right into the golden ratio, just a 618 retracement. It's right where a technical, or basically a trend continuation trader wants this to be, with, of course, something very easy on here. You see it happening, not oversold yet, but, you can kind of see that the MA that I have coming up under, that's good. The MA coming up under the RSI, and then you can see the bullish volume right here too. But not only that, trade looks like it's reacting. It's in a good area. It's where you want it. You want price action after you get a new high. You want a correction back down to the 618 golden ratio, and 786 is also major. So a very good deep retracement off that to come back and test this guy up here at 168. And the same way that you saw me run the extended targets on the last couple, extended targets from the low here to that high, from the low to the high, and then extended targets up there $195 after we break and close above the 169 right here, just for a market that's trending like this. That's what that would look like. And if you're wondering what your risk versus reward would look like, let's say I just use this here. Let's say you came in late here. It's kind of late to the party. You should have been in this thing, back around the 1st of January, really. But just say a trader came in right now and he was willing to hang tight and try to target and try to take this thing all the way to the bank. Um, it looked like this because you would actually, you know what, I would keep a pretty tight stop. I'd keep the stops right up under the structure in which you started reacting. This goes, like I said, this goes back to December. There's no reason to suggest that. So this one almost has no risk to it. So a trader could actually take this trade and feel comfortable. If he loses, it's not going to hurt him pretty much at all. He loses a few dollars versus making a whole lot of money. So very, very excited about Toll Brothers. Oh man, this is beautiful. I'm glad something told me, hey, let's just go look at the home builders, and I hate to do something on the backs of what's happening to the people in my home city, Los Angeles right now. But there's a stock market out here, and here's this is how it works. So Taylor Morrison Home Corporation. So this one, we're going to use one of our other techniques, in this case, the 2618 technique, in which we're going to basically use this double bottom here, right? When you use that double bottom. So basically you have your double bottom and your break and close beyond the previous structure here. So let's just take this, let's just mark this up real quick. So you got a double bottom. Actually, we'll just do this instead. Okay, we've got a double bottom, right? This is our 2618 technique for people wondering how this one works. I'm not sure if you see me talk about it before, but in this case, a double bottom, right? Let's just write that we're nice clean V for a real clean double bottom. Okay, and the lowest low meets the lowest close, but does not close beyond it, and it reverses, of course. So double bottom followed by a break and close, right? Break and close beyond previous structure. Okay, so this is how the 2618 technique works. Double bottom followed by a break and close beyond previous structure, followed by, see the 618 in the name, followed by 618 retracement. Doesn't have to be 618 on a dot, right? But that's what you're looking for. Now, this one happened to drop right into the zone. Perfect setup between the 618 and 786, okay? On the 2618 technique, price action is allowed to, this thing is still moving like crazy post-market. This is crazy. Post-market up to 66. We just saw it shoot up some. It's like me making the video is driving the price action up. But on the 2618 technique, on your correction part, it's allowed to come back down as far as it wants, as long as it doesn't violate the double bottom. And at that point, it's really no longer a 2618. But you want it to react just like this. Double bottom, break and close, retrace back into the 618. And then that's what's telling you. That's exactly what you want to see to tell you that the price is going to continue to trend, come back up here, test $75. A couple of different things we're going to do on this. Come back, test $75. We're also going to use a 127 extension for the target, right from the low to the high. Come back. In this case, I only want to see, I don't want to go as high as I had on the other ones. I only want to see the 127 extension. Actually, I'm going to use 127 and 1414. The reason I'm using those is because a 618 retracement, usually if it was 618 on a dot, it would result in a 1414 extension. Okay. But since this one is coming down to 786, the extension is probably only going to come, the target 2 is probably only going to come to the 127. Probably maybe hit it or barely, which is $81. And to prove that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this leg, right? Because we're going to take this 2618 and we're going to combine it with the A to B is equal to CD pattern, which is also what you get. So if this is A and this is B, right? The swing low to swing high, that's A and that's B. And we clone it, right? If A to B is equal to C and D, that's an equal measure move. So if that's A and B and I cloned it and I put it on C, I told you it's going to line up with the 127 on the dots. Okay, and I'm going to make them red for the sake of kind of being exhausted at that point. Maybe even not. This thing might not ever stop. So beautiful work on Taylor Morrison Holmes using the 2618 technique to get involved. The problem is he just really ran away from us this week, today being Thursday. So this is all this week. So if I were to come back and break that down and do it in days, we're just going to see just several days, kind of slow, but he basically, that's actually good. I like to look at that because all it did before it took off was just kind of like double checked itself, come up, and then there was a retest. So we like having times like that. Having a retest is okay. A lot of people start panicking when there's a retest, but that's what happens in prices. Even when you talk about here, there was a retest. Yeah, low here, you come up, jump, retest it, go. Same thing here. Here, come up, retest it, go. So we can only hope that this has, I'm sorry that I'm having to stay on this one so long because there's so many technicals to break down on it, but we can have to hope that you get the same reaction here as you got off here. All right. So if that's anywhere near the same, then I would be right in my technical analysis. And this trade for a trader who was aware of the 2618 technique would have been looking to enter in there, and his trade would have looked like this, which is pretty damn amazing. I'm not going to put it all the way up there, but here at a minimum, I'll just put it where it's supposed to be. And then, of course, the stops would be pretty tight. Nobody wants to get smoked, right? I mean, okay, let me clean something up. In this technique, your stops are supposed to be below the double bottom, but I just don't think that that's necessary. This is something where you can actually go ahead and say, hey, you know what, if price action comes down below 57 something, you can go ahead and take me out, and I'll find another way in. I'll take a look at it, see what happens. Very, very beautiful, amazing opportunity. And it's just running off. We don't know where the trades are going to be tomorrow. Other traders are looking at the stuff and who might want to get involved, you go talk to someone else, and you never know. But that's pretty sad. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was Taylor Morrison. I said I was going to do 5. I'm going to throw one more big dog in there. Hopefully some of you have heard of KB Holmes. This one I'm absolutely sure is a killer. And again, we are late to the party because this one, in true Harmonic Trading Club fashion, is the advanced bat pattern. But like I said, unfortunately, we are late to the party. Let me see if I can get a little bit more cleaner on that. Yeah, boom, boom. I just want to clean it up some because I'm so mad that I missed it and I can't trade it. So this is KB Holmes. KB Holmes throwing us a bone on that one. But of course, we were nowhere to be found. This is a daily chart, so this started, of course, 231 2 weeks ago. And if we were aware, if we were looking at these 2 weeks ago, the fire started, I think, January. When did the fire start? 7th, I think. Yeah, 7th, 6 or 7, something like that. There's a lot of stuff been going on. But anyway, back to the story. We missed this beautiful run. And, the other sad part about it is just that quick, we already would have been at target 1. See the 382 retracement? So this 382 retracement is retracement from A to D. That's target 1. Target 2 is right up here at the 618. He's going to go get that so easy, if not more, because it's KB Holmes, and they're going to be doing a lot of the rebuilding in California, in Southern California, over the next 5 years. They're already everywhere building, especially here in Las Vegas. There's a lot of KB Homes, a lot of these new valleys and stuff. Whenever you see these nice, beautiful new subdivisions and communities where all the houses, unfortunately, kind of look the same, but that's who we're talking about here. That's D.H. Horton, that's KB Homes, that's Lenore. That's who's doing those. I wanted to throw in one more, and it's going to lead me off to the next video I'm going to make after this one. And this one is actually DuPont paint companies. And this one is just very simple. I want to talk about why I'm talking about this, because it's important for us to look at companies that are going to start making a lot more money during these times, during this climate. 1, of course, Donald Trump. 2, people having more money. 3, energy costs down. And 4, California. So looking at DuPont, they struggled, right? They struggled to break this high right here, right? They struggled, right? He struggles to break this high. This kind of like topped up here. But if you notice, he came back down. And if you notice, Then he came back and got it. Bam, new structure high, right? So initial high, I'm sorry, starting point, initial high, outside return, tested it, got rejected, broke it, new structure high. Okay. Okay. So now you're officially in trend. Now you're officially in trend. So starting point, initial high. So starting point, initial high, rejected, rejected, rejected. Okay, rejected, outside return or retracement, little minor correction, not bad. Probably as perfect as you want it on the correction. Watch this, measuring the correction, grabbing the fib, starting from the low, coming to the high. Just write down pretty much to the golden ratio exactly what you want to see, which drove this run up here. Okay, and of course that is also A to B is equal to C and D, right? So if I just go clean up real quick because I just want to do that real quick because I have to, I can't help it. If I said that um, A to B is equal to C and D, that's going to tell us that we're trending. It's also going to tell us that we hit D perfectly. That's amazing. And you're going to get a pullback from that. You're going to get a correction after that. And this correction just happened to be another one into the golden ratio right at the 618 on the money too. It like really doesn't get too much better than that. They almost touched it. Good enough though, but oversold on RSI, which caused the buyers to come in and start trying to take that thing. Okay, buyers come starting to take. That's why you see the volume coming in. Same thing. Expect this thing to trend. Actually, we could do something as simple as take this and clone it. It's going to tell us where we're going next. Put him right here where he came, and that's the target. Okay, that's the target right here at $100 even, or that's probably also a 1414 extension. If I measure extension from this low to this high, put it right there. It's 1414 on the dot. So I got to take a look at all these tomorrow, especially DuPont. I'm going to come back, make another video with just paint companies and construction companies. That's kind of like I'm going to go down the construction rabbit hole, at least for the next couple of videos. So thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, share the video, leave your comments, and I'll see you guys on the next one.